Hey, we're on the electric side of the Fender booth here at NAMM 2017 on Musicians on the Record. We are with Steve. Welcome to the show, Steve. Nice to meet you. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do at Fender.
Well, gosh, how much time do you have? I've been with Fender now for almost 13 years. I started out in the service department, customer service, answering phone calls, answering questions, emails, you name it. From there, I got into tech support, and where I was a guitar tech for Fender for 10 plus years. I do, have a background in building and repair and restoration, that kind of thing. And so wood and metal and all this stuff it's everything for me. It's my blood. It's everything I do. And lucky enough now to be on the product development team here at Fender doing the electric guitars. And it's the coolest job I've ever had. I'll definitely tell you that.
Sounds like a cool job. And you're in the new LA office?
That's right in Hollywood, where everything happens. You know, hustle and bustle, and lots of great artists.
So a typical day in your LA office, what kind of artist comes through your door?
Oh man, gosh, there's no defining it. You know, that's the thing about Fender is there's no definition for a Fender guitar. You don't pigeonhole it into anything, whether it's R&B, whether it's hip-hop, whether, you go out and see like Jay-Z's band, all those guys are rocking Fenders, and, heavy metal guys. Yngwie Malmsteen, I mean, how much gain can that guy use? And he still plays a great Strat. So, there's just, it's the key to life, really. I mean, between Fender guitars and the Fender bass that really laid the groundwork for everything that we have today, it's something that allows every player to really be themselves, and you don't get stuck anywhere with our gear. And if something were to break, with Leo's great ideas, it's modular. It can be replaced, it can be fixed, and you're probably not going to break the bank doing it. And it's very special for us to keep that legacy alive. And this year we're doing the American Professional Series, and it's exciting. Because really it's 30 plus years in the making. The American standard really set the bar for what an American Fender could be. And since 1987, it's really been that benchmark. And over all those years, we've worked with artists and dealers and our fans and our customers and everybody saying, what can we do? What do you want out of this instrument? And what changes can we make? How can we make it better? And we've listened. And there's one thing that we know. You cannot change the shape. You cannot change what it says. So you have to do it the small stuff, the little things. And the little things add up to a huge change.
So what are some of those little things that you're showcasing here at NAMM?
All right. So some of the best of the best. The neck profile has now changed. For years we had the modern C, and now we're doing sort of a modern deep C, which kind of has a little bit more of that vintage, chunkier feel, but it's really only a few thousandths of an inch difference. But once you get it into your hands, it's really a whole new instrument. The fret wire is now different. We've developed a narrow, tall fret wire, which is great. It still sits nice and high up off the fingerboard, but without such a wide crown, you don't have nearly as much drag or resistance for hammer-ons and pull-offs. Your crown point is now very precise, so it should really maintain, depending on how hard you grip the guitar, your intonation should stay really rock solid as you move up the neck. We've gone back since the vintage era, now a real genuine bone nut again. For many years it's been plastic and alternative materials, and now it's the real thing again. The Strat bridge, for many years you screwed that thing in, and if you were lucky you didn't lose the little spring that was in the tremolo. So now it's a pop-in, and you can adjust the tension, and you can put it where you want it, and it's going to stay there. The Telecasters, all of these guitars have brand new redesigned pickups. Our wizard of wizards, Tim Shaw, who is a legendary pickup designer, did these for us. And as you may know, he did the Shawbucker humbucking pickup for us, last couple years, which has really set sort of things ablaze. It's a whole new humbucker, and it's something that you can express yourself with. It has such single coil characteristics that, you don't really have all that compression that you get with some of those other humbuckers. And it's just really super clean. So we had Tim go ahead and get in the workshop and design our new V-Mod single coil pickups as well. It's an incredible mixture of secret sauce and Tim's mojo that allow these instruments to really take high gain like never before, to be versatile. One of the best things on every single one of the guitar models is we have a custom tuned by Tim Shaw high pass filter, or treble bleed circuit as commonly known as. So you can roll that volume control back and retain really most of that lusciousness that you're used to in a Fender single coil pickup. You don't lose the highs, the low end does not just completely die out, and it doesn't get muddy. It really helps to retain that classic sound, so you can do what the guys used to do. You can leave your amp turned up to 9 or 10 and honestly control it with your volume control as it was originally meant to be used as. So it's really cool. It's one of the most common mods that repair guys do out there. I know I did it for many, many years for all kinds of people, and it was really just one of those things that it's a no-brainer. How can we make this better? Boom. It's a great little RC network that's in there on that control, and it's fantastic.
Sounds awesome. You were also sharing your passion earlier with us about new maple necks or old maple necks.
That's right. So really, really special for American Pro. Jaguars and Jazzmasters, which just in general have not been really part of a top-end American line in forever. It's probably, been the mid-70s since, the last one's kind of rolled off. And it's hard not to see what's going on in the music world. The Jaguars, the Jazzmasters, the Duosonics, the Mustangs, the Music Masters, all that stuff that was honestly discarded by a lot of players over their original years. Guys could find them in pawn shops for next to nothing, and you could modify them and cut into them because they didn't have the vintage, value that a lot of guys are worried about with their Strats and Tellys, and so we see that, and we're like, well, okay, but maybe you don't want to cut into your guitar, so let's just do it right from the factory. So American Professional, Jaguars, Jazzmasters are the culmination really of what people have been begging for, and something that I personally have been really going for a long time. And to be part of this team and to help, guide this through, it's really incredible. Early Jazzmaster, prototyping, they used maple for that. And you may see a picture somewhere, but you're never really going to see the real thing. And we've had iterations here and there from various factories over the years that we've partnered with, and it was time to do it here in the U.S. and really show what we could do. And we also, we made some of those changes. 9.5-inch radius, those narrow tall frets that we're using on all the other, actually every model of instrument that we're doing this year for these. We've updated the bridge. One of the popular mods is using Mustang saddles. So we've done that. They're brass, nickel-plated Mustang saddles that are actually set properly to the 9.5-inch radius. So all you really need to ever do is adjust the feet of the bridge, up or down, boom, done, lock it, and go. The Jazzmaster is now simply just a 3-way switch, master volume, master tone, again with our treble bleed circuit. So it makes those warm, luscious, amazing Jazzmaster pickups just clean up, and you can push an amp to here to the end and roll it back and do what a Jazzmaster was originally intended to kind of do. And the Jaguar now is a 4-way switch, so you now have series parallel options. Okay, no more little slider switches down here that it's that one, oh man. Okay, so simple, like a Telecaster 3-way, we're using a 4-way. We've also done a little bit of a trick that, it's a Jaguar. You can't really change what that looks like. So you keep the upper control, but without the lead or rhythm circuit, now it's just a simple little phase switch. And because the pickups are a little bit further apart than you'd find on a Strat, the phasing when it's out of phase is a little bit different. And so what you're able to do when you have both pickups engaged, especially in the parallel position like a traditional Strat or Tele would be, you get some of that Strat quack. And
Strat quack, I like that.
Donald Duck, Eat Your Heart Out. It's one of the coolest sounds, So many of those records that we love by some of the icons, they forced that three-way switch into that middle position, and that's the sound. And now you can kind of do it with a 24-inch Jaguar. And it's a lot of fun. We're really, really, really excited.
Yeah. And I can hear it. I love your passion for these guitars, Steve, Fender guitars. Last question coming up. I know you guys have been really busy here at the NAMM Show.
Very.
Any special artists that have either played or are coming up before the end of the show?
Man.
Can you give any secrets away on that?
I really can't.
Okay.
Our artists, and regardless if they sell 1,000 records or 1,000,000 records, our guys are special. And especially in something like the NAMM Show, where you're surrounded by people and we're all musicians, and you recognize that guy so quickly that if when the word gets out, it's like everybody starts crowding, and then the artist can't even get from his car to the booth. And so one of the biggest things about the Fender family is to keep a respect for our artists. And again, whether from Eric Clapton down to me, if I'm playing a gig.
So you're saying that you and Eric Clapton are playing at 4 o'clock today here, right?
4:15. 4:15. I will be. I'll be the midget right over here, and praying I don't completely embarrass myself. But no, if that was happening, man, that would be a heck of a secret.
That would be real great. Steve, thank you so much. I love your passion for Fender
you.
guitars. Thank you for being on Musicians on the Record.
Thanks,
really
David.
appreciate it. We're at the Fender booth at the NAMM Show on Musicians on the Record. I'm David Ward. Stay tuned for more.